How can you be a hockey fan and not want the Montreal Canadiens in the NHL playoffs? Listen, I cheer for the Rangers. They were competing for that final wildcard spot, and honestly, well, competing might be overstating it for the Rangers, but I wanted Montreal to get it. This is basically the first time we've had a playoff game in what is probably the most exciting rink in the NHL, the Bell Center. And yes, the Habs did make the playoffs in 21 and 20, but both seasons had the COVID restrictions on attending. So this is the full time the barn has been back up and rocking in the better part of a decade. And this game did not disappoint. And it obviously was a must win for Montreal to have a realistic chance of taking this series. But in a real way, everything just got flipped on its head. First of all, full credit to the Habs. They came out, they out-muscled Washington clearly. I would have been surprised to hear that after game one. Their high-powered offense performed as it should. Connor McMichael got the Caps on board first, but Montreal responded with 2 straight. Chikrin would get the equalizer, then we'd get the first of 2 really important moments. Montembeault in the second was clearly dealing with something. He'd end up leaving and not returning. I think probably hamstring, hopefully hamstring. Either way, this could be something like a cramp, which he could be good to play next game, or it could be a more serious injury. I do think it's pretty positive that he was high-fiving his team after the game. Jakub Dobeš would end up coming in for relief. I think the Habs were pretty comfortable with him after how he played towards the end of the year. Either way, given that it was tied when he came in, he'd get his first NHL playoff victory. Montembeault, though, has just been so solid, so I know Canadiens fans are really hoping he can get back in. However, at the end of the second, Lane Hutson beautifully picks off the puck intended for Alexander Ovechkin. He finds Cole Caulfield wide open. This is such a nice goal, and I think exemplifies this young, exciting Canadiens team so much. But you think that was interesting? Well, just a few moments later, at the end of the second, things would get wild, and I don't think I've ever seen this before. So the Bell Center is unusual, although it's not the only rink like this, where the visiting team has to cross the ice to get to their locker room, which I absolutely love. Take whatever you can for home ice advantage. Make the opposing team do the walk of shame if they're down after a period. But this was relevant because it meant, for one, that after the end of the period, there were a ton of Washington players on the ice, and for 2, that Spencer Carberry was about to be trapped between, as he put it, 2 large men.
I was on my way to walk across the ice, because you have to walk across at the Bell Center and head back, because there was 2 large individuals coming through the door that I was trying to exit. So
it starts off with Xhekaj, he's chirping. Then Tom Wilson and Josh Anderson get into it, with Anderson being pushed onto the Capitals bench and the 2 men continuing the fight there. Again, I don't think I've ever seen this in all my time watching hockey. It's like the opposite of a bench clearing brawl, and honestly, had this happened during the regular season, I think we would have seen some pretty big suspensions. The NHL takes situations where non-active players get into any sort of altercations really seriously, but it's the playoffs. Let the boys play. I absolutely love it. Anyway, the one goal the replacement Habs netminder would let up would be from Alexander Ovechkin. Great shot, not a lot of chance there. That was 3 minutes into the third, but Christian Dvorak would score one. And Slavkovsky would increase the lead to 2, but there was something far more consequential which would happen on this play. Strome, as the announcer puts it, obliterates Logan Thompson, and Thompson was down and struggled to get up. He had to leave the game and be helped off the ice. He couldn't put any weight on his leg, and if I'm a Capitals fan, I'm far more concerned about this than the loss of the game. You know, it's not likely you're going to sweep a team in the modern NHL. Everyone's just too good. You're expecting to drop 1 at least. Thompson has been excellent so far these playoffs. I don't think he's coming back, whether in this round or otherwise. Obviously, I hope he does. I mean, you want the best players in the playoffs, but this is going to be a major shot for the Caps. Anyway, Charlie Lindgren, who backstopped the Capitals last season, came in for relief. He'd play 6 minutes and let up a goal, which gives him the unfortunate stat sheet of having a GAA of 9, because it's calculated based on a full 60 minutes. Either way, he's been serviceable this year, but they're really going to miss Thompson. Anyway, the Habs make it 2-1 with the next game on Sunday. Hopefully we learn more about Thompson and Montembeault's injuries sooner rather than later, but that's my breakdown. Let me know what you guys thought down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like, and if you want more content, there's a new basketball, football, and hockey video on screen right now. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.